Hi investors, it's Tom here, your local Manchester guy, and we are here with Niraj again.
Hi, Tom.
Niraj. I've been trying to get you for at least a week or 2 weeks. Finally, we got you here on the phone.
You're a slave driver, Tom. It's 20 past 7.
Yes, he's a hard man to catch, but I wanted to talk to you because we've been getting a lot of comments from our previous video, which is one of your HMOs in Stockport, and I think people really liked it, and they've been asking about numbers and they've been asking about how it all works. So I thought we'll do a quick video and maybe you can just run us through how did we go with the rents, and then what sort of numbers are we looking at?
Okay, sure. So let me share screens. My dog has just come back from the dog sitter, so I'm just being attacked, and I'm trying to multitask, so apologies. Okay, if I share screens, I should be able to pull up from our marketing pack the floor plan. I don't know if I shared this with you. So if you remember, Tom, when we visited the house, we came in the front entrance here. You remember that?
Yes.
We looked, and there was 2 ensuite bedrooms on the ground floor. There was this large kitchen, dining, living area. Then you went upstairs, and there was 3 further bedrooms. There was this smaller one with the really, really high ceiling, then a medium-sized one and a larger, long one. And then on the top floor, this was a huge 20 square meter bedroom. When you allow for the lower head height where the bed, we ended up putting the bed here, it's about 24 square meters.
Yes.
And then we had this basement apartment. So if you look at the rents,
so actually on the video we didn't see the basement apartment. So this house, you managed to get all the rooms plus an apartment downstairs, which is amazing.
Did we not do?
We didn't do the apartment, no, but that's on the basement. There is a 1-bedroom flat on this house.
That's beautiful. Yeah, so that's a really, really nice space, really well designed, very, very large. If you look at it, a 25 square meter kitchen living area as opposed to 20. So there's 6 people sharing a 22 square meter kitchen. And then will be a couple sharing 25 meters. Now, the reason you see that is the profile of someone who's paying for this in terms of their affordability and their salary is way beyond what these people are. So these people our typical is 2.75 times for this. For this, again, it's 2.75 times, but their affordability will be more like 4 or 5 times. So it's a different type of person. So in terms of rents, we achieved every single rent at the asking price and did not drop it a penny. The reason we usually achieve that is because we get what we call a new build premium, first residential let, we call it. And then the team always say to me, I think we've let it to, we do a 360 afterwards. I think I told you afterwards, we'll go back and we'll say, well, how did we do? And everything was rented at asking price. On the day, Tom, all of these were let. I think by the time you come, we'd let 3 of the rooms, and we were like an hour and a half into the viewing.
Yes, correct.
By the next week, we rented, within 7 days, that was rented. We had 5 people chasing that.
Which is a really high price for a room. But
Tom, you've got to understand the person who's renting this is kind of like on the way to this. Their affordability will be beyond the 2.75, more like 3.5 times. And there's someone who could afford this but wants to save money. So
affordability, just for somebody who doesn't know, you're talking about the rent times 2.7. That's the earnings.
Yeah. Apologies. So if you look at the monthly salary gross to the gross rent, 2.75 times and it's way beyond what most letting agents do. They look at 2.1, 2.2. We're up at 2.75.
Right.
And what you have to understand is people look at it and go, wow, someone paying that for an HMO. Well, hang on a minute. You saw the specification of the room. It's got its own kitchenette. It's got everything in there. Do they even need to come down and use this kitchen? They've got these lovely views. So that's someone who could afford to live in a 1-bed apartment, but they're thinking, you know what, this is really nice. It's a nice house, luxury hubber, great company. They're looking after me. I'm happy in there. And by the way, look, I'm saving all my bills.
Yes. It
And
is like
what's
a studio flat, really.
yeah, it kind of is like a studio flat. The fact that we do dry kitchens and we don't put any cookers in means that we don't pay any council tax, etc. by the room. But the people who do this are people who are punching down. When I that punching down, the people who are saying, I could afford that, but I want to tighten my wallet, and I'm happy with something like that. So all those rents were achieved, and the rents we achieved were 70. I'll show you on the next slide, because you said let's keep this. You promised me we could keep this video short.
Yes.
So if I then go on to what we call the wash up, and you can see here we have our really, really detailed deal calculator where we have all our calculations for everything. But to
so these are the
summarize,
numbers for this deal, and I think this is what people really wanted to see.
Yeah. So it was purchased for 320,000. It was a refurb of 203 because we split it. We made a basement, 1-bed apartment. We did a 6-bed HMO, and it's total cost of 523. But the rent is, I won't say staggering. I've got deals where I'm getting over 100,000 rent that I can show you. 70,000 rent. The yield on it, you can look at that. Just to remind people, the total cost divided into the rent gives you a gross yield of that.
Which is a high yield.
Yeah, well, our typical deals that we're pushing out, that you're getting me to analyze onto the WhatsApp group to the investors at the moment, is around a 10, 11, maybe a 12% yield. So, and if you take off typically about, I don't know, 22, 23% for costs, then, you know, your 10% ones are giving you a net yield of about 6 or 7. This would give you a net yield close to 8 or 9, and a cash on cash return after funding, maybe about 15, 16. People go, wow, I want that all day long. However, here's the caveat. That's the caveat.
It took 20 months.
Yeah, nearly 20 months to do the deal. So,
and it's a lot of cash as well.
You know, the deals that we're looking at, it's short time to money. So when I put time, it's time to money, and some people just don't want their money waiting.
Yes.
So when you look at that, and you then ran the deal for, I don't know, looked at it over 10 years, and then added your 19 months into your 10 years, your yield's kind of like coming down.
Yes. Yes.
But why this deal is really, really good as well is we currently have a license, or the license is being applied for, because we know the market. We tell them what we're doing. The license has been applied for, and their council are happy with that. Once we have our license, we will apply for planning to make that into a 2-bed unit. And when we do that, we'll punch the rent up to about 975. And when the rent goes up to 975, the increase in income will be, what's that? Another £1,000 a month, a year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, £1,000 a year would. Let's just put that up to 71,440. You know, that then pushes the yield up, and over time rents go up at the rate of 3 to 5% a year.
And also, would you say the yield here is higher because you managed to get a flat out of this house as well?
Yeah, of
normally
course.
you only get the bedrooms.
Yeah, of course. If you minus, yeah.
So this is quite unusual. It was a really big house with a really big basement.
Yeah, some of the bigger deals that are going for group investment to Kyle are ones where they're a little bit more complex. So like this, where they put that in, we put that in, or we went for planning on something.
And we're talking about 500,000 here of costs.
It's a lot of cash.
So
It's a lot of cash. You've got to have deep pockets.
Deal, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people loved it. They really liked the property. I think they really liked that video from last time. And it does look, it looks beautiful. So it can be done. These are the things that can be done.
Exactly.
HMO.
Brilliant. I think next time what we should do is maybe we should go into the numbers in a little bit more detail and share some detail on cash return and leverage, and maybe with Kyle's permission, show one of the deals that's coming up as well, which is one of these more complex deals.
Yes, we can do that.
And then it lets people understand the straightforwardness of the deals and why, you know, a 9 or a 10% gross yield is really good. Because if you turn those deals around, Tom, with one of your teams for a light refurb, you know, you're turning it around in what, 2 months, 3 months?
Yes. Well, yeah, 3 months maybe.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's great. So by cash on cash, we're talking about, now we're looking at just yields. Cash on cash, we're talking once we remortgage, how much money we leave in with how much return
I suggest we do that. We look at the financial KPIs and we have a chat through them. And then after that, we can then show those numbers on a spreadsheet with a real deal.
Brilliant. Great. So I hope you guys found this useful. Some numbers there on the property we saw last time, and we're going to keep talking about numbers. And if you have any questions or anything you want to know more, just message us. And like this one, we'll just do a video about it. I have to chase Niraj a lot, but eventually I will catch him and we'll get a video done.
Wonderful.
So Niraj, thank you. It is almost 8 o'clock here, so I'm going to let you go.
Well, we did it, Tom.
And it's done.
Speak to you soon. Take care.
Thank you, Niraj, and we'll see you all later. Bye.